Today. Happy Friday to everyone. It might be raining outside, but we're going to bring the smiles, we're going to bring the fun today. It's going to be a full body workout or full body routine in which we're going to be taking the full body through a series of movements and movement patterns with the main emphasis or the overarching emphasis of getting ourselves better. Ultimately, anyone can make you tired, but what we're trying to do is give you a series of movements that will tie into your daily life, which you can start incorporating, and you can do this at any time of the day. Some of you will be doing it live, some of you will be doing it on YouTube after the event, but either way, these are movements that you can bring in and hopefully or ultimately get you better and get you moving better as a person. So thank you all for joining. We will, without further ado, get started, shall we? So what we're going to do to start with, we're going to work through a series of movement preparation, basically get the synovial fluid within the joints warm. And then from there, we're going to go into more patterning and activation, where we're going to bring the full body into cohesion and get that working together. And then from there, we're going to go into more dynamic sort of movements and bring in a more of a strength element to that as well. So warm up, we're going to then do patterning and activation, and then we're going to do some more sort of dynamic strength work for you guys to crack on, have a good day, and then continue into the weekend. So from here, what we're going to do, so standing upright, I'm going to take my legs out. So I don't have to go into like full standing middle splits, but what I am looking to do is take my hips wider than shoulder width. So in this position, I'm keeping my feet flat to the ground, and I'm squeezing these inner thigh muscles, these adductors here, I'm squeezing them together, okay? So in this position, I'm creating a nice stable base, chest above hips. So from here, still squeezing the ground, I'm going to fold forward, keeping this back nice and neutral. I'm not slumping, so nice back, sucking that the belly button in, standing back up, constantly squeezing these like I'm trying to draw the legs together. Okay, you see that? So 10 reps, pushing my bum back to the top. 10. If you get any cramping or anything, feel free to step out of this. That's 9. Again, pushing it back a little bit further each time. 8. Keep that tension through the inner legs. 7. 6, if you find that easy, take your feet wider apart. Again, keeping the feet flat to the ground. Good. 6. 5. This is called a standing pancake stretch. 4. 3. 2 more, guys. 2. Last one. Good. Nice, very well done. So from here, what I'm going to do, we're going to warm the shoulders up. So feel free to stay standing, but I'm going to just drop down onto the knees so you guys can see. So initially what I'm going to do, arms out to the side, I'm going to draw a really small circle. Again, don't worry about reps on this one. And gradually bringing those shoulders or rolling them forwards, I'm going to start making a larger circle, make it larger, bigger, and then finally, like I'm doing butterfly stroke, bringing those shoulders all the way around, nice and smooth, nice and controlled. If it makes it easier, make a fist, and I'm going to open out to the back, try and brush my ears. Good. In this final position, we're going to do 5 of these. 5. Big stretch out to the back, open the shoulders. 4. Big stretch, open out. 3. Again, I'm not trying to overarch. I'm just making my shoulders do the work, keeping the glutes on tight. 2. Last one. And 1. Good. So now from here, we're going to go into a standing squat. So we're going to do all of these again, so don't worry about whether you caught it the first time or not. So this time, I'm going to be in a squat position. I'm going to be stood here. I'm going to bob down. So again, 90 degrees in the legs, hold my ankles. So from this position, hopefully you can see that. So good squat position, 90 degrees in the legs, holding the ankles, and I'm going to drive the bum into the air. So I'm folding forward or hinging forward. So this is like a standing pike. So again, squatting down, hang on to the ankles, and then I'm going to push my bum into the air. I can really feel a stretch coming through the hamstrings and the backs of the legs. Okay? 10 of these. 10. 9. Don't worry if you can't get a fully straight leg. 8. If you're struggling, bring your hands further up your shin. 7. 6. 5. Good. You might find it gets easier. 4. Lean forward a little bit more, keeping the feet flat. 3. 2 more. 2. Last one. Good. Nice, guys. So from there, we're going to go straight back into that first exercise, that standing pancake. So remember, legs, you might find that now you've got a little bit more blood in the hips. You can go a little bit wider this time. So remember, I'm trying to squeeze using these inner thigh muscles, trying to tear the ground or pull the carpet together. So from here, folding forwards, squeeze the bum. 10. Folding forwards, squeeze the bum. 9. Forward. 8. Show from the side. 7. This one feels lovely on the backs of the legs. 6. Again, lift those arms up if you want to make it harder. 5. 4. 3. 2 more. 2. Last one. Ooh. I can definitely feel it tighter on one leg than the other. So remember now, this time we're going to do shoulder rolls, but instead of coming forwards, we're going to go backwards, okay? So instead of doing butterfly stroke, we're going to do backstroke. So starting small, make a fist like this. Again, we're trying not to overarch too much through the lumbar or the thoracic. What we're trying to do, keep everything locked off here, connecting the upper and the lower, glutes on, so small circles to start with. Remember, we're going backwards this time. Slowly building, building. Gradually getting bigger and bigger until eventually our biceps are basically rubbing our ears. Backwards, big stretch. When we hit this top position, we're going to do 5 like this. So 5, biceps rolling past your ears. 4, 3, big stretch up, round. 2, last one. Good, nice, guys. So that was standing standing pancake, shoulder rolls, and then we're going to go into that squat to stand again. Just open this window. So squat to stand. Remember, this time very heavy on the hamstrings, so you can really feel that. So just work to your mobility. I like to go for a 90 degrees, hold the ankles, and then I'm going to push my bum up, trying to lock the knees out, but don't worry if you're not quite there. Good, that's 10. 9. 8. Notice how my spine is curving this time. 7. 6. 5. Good work, guys. Keep going. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good. I really like that because you get a little bit of ankle dorsiflexion, and you're also working the hamstrings on there as well. So that was a little bit of like initial movement prep, just being very kind to ourselves, allowing ourselves that initial movement of the day, getting the engine oil up to temperature. Great. So from here, we're going to go into more of like patterning or activation work. So for example, you're going to be doing a handstand session. These things will be really beneficial for that. So we're going to build on themes that we've already started using or utilizing in that movement preparation, and then we're going to start building out from there. Cool. So we're going to go into a down dog, okay? Downward facing dog. But the main things that we're thinking about when we're in this position is this good overhead or shoulder flexion, Okay, so this is one of the things that really important when we're looking to get better at handstands. This is like a primary position, because if you can't get your shoulder or your hand overhead, then it's going to negatively impact your handstand. So this is something we can constantly work on to make ourselves better at, whilst also incorporating some of this posterior chain, hamstring, glutes, lower back, etc. Right, so we're going to start in a plank. Okay, so I'm going to be in this plank position. I'm going to walk my feet forwards to here. So it's almost like a pike. And then I'm going to open my shoulders more. Okay, so that position again. Plank position. I'm going to walk my feet forwards. I'm going to push back into my heels. Okay, from here, we're just going to spend a moment. I'll do it to the camera. From here, I like to move left to right and also paddle my feet. So I'm going to alternate the feet, drop one foot, drop the other foot. Okay, I'm just going to spend 20 seconds here, just having a little exploration, left to right, paddle the feet, whilst pushing the ground away. Open those shoulders. Good. Another 10 seconds. Alternating heels. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Move those hips side to side. 2, and 1. Lovely. So you'll notice when we're in that overhead position, I like to move side to side because we open up some of this lat. Now, if we've got a tight lat, that will stop us going overhead. So by oscillating left and right, we can open up some of this fascia, especially if you've been stuck in this position all week, you know, on the Xbox or on your computer. Okay. So now what we're going to do is the opposite of that. So it's like a bridge or a bridge progression. So this time we're going to be sat on our bum. So notice how before we were going shoulder flexion, now shoulder extension. So I'm going to be sat on my bum. My fingertips are pointing away like this. And then from here, I'm going to squeeze the glutes and stay quite low to start with. Moving left to right. Okay. So this is nice because it warms up the wrists, also warms up the shoulders in these really nice positions that we don't often manage to get a chance to get into, especially during the week in this position. So that again, this first round, we're going to do a couple of rounds. This first round is just going to be quite progressive. So I've got my feet facing one way, I've got my fingertips facing the other, and from here, I'm going to squeeze the glutes, just have a little explore left and right. If that feels good, bring the hips further up, squeeze those bum cheeks like you're going to crack a walnut. Again, I like to move left and right in this position, and you can even do reps in this position, in and out, okay? We'll try that next time round. Good. Another 5 seconds. 4, leaning backwards and forwards. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Really good, guys. So back onto our fronts, but now, so similar to that plank position that we did before the downward dog, but now we're going to incorporate some overhead, okay? Overhead mobility and also strengthening of this mid-back portion. So here, I'm going to split my legs as well. So if you want to make it harder, have your feet touching. Let's see if I can show you that. So feet touching, but I'm going to go slightly wider like this. So I'm pushing the ground away. I'm going to move over to my left-hand side and big stretch out with my right hand. Notice how, in order to get that position, I'm not craning through my neck. I'm not sagging at the hips. I'm trying to keep a nice straight line, shoulder, hip, ankle, straight from the side. From here, I'm going to stretch, reach out. Good. In this position, if I can, I'm going to stay in that top plank, move over to my right, reach out with my left arm. Okay? So the default now, we're having to create tension in that lengthened plank position, but now we're also layering on top a bit of overhead mobility and strengthening through the scapula and mid-back. Okay? We're going to aim for 10 total reps, 5 each side, obviously. Okay? So 10 total reps. If you can, see if you can maintain that plank throughout the whole duration. Not a problem if you can't. Just step away, either join back in or come back into your knees and go from there. Okay? We can do the same position, pushing the ground away, overhead, like this. I'll show you from the front. So that's the same position, whether my knees are tucked here, or if I take the feet out. Okay, totally up to you. Let's see if we can do the full 10 whilst holding that plank position. Okay, hope you guys are ready. I'm ready. Let's go, shall we? So, keeping the wrist below shoulder, so shoulder, elbow, wrist, all in one line. So here, pushing the ground away, feet slightly split so I can balance a little bit more. So I'm going to move onto my left arm, reach with my right, try and pull it back. Good, 10. Move over to the other side. Pushing the ground away, reach, 9. Good, rotating backwards and forwards. 8. Good, move over. 7. 6. 5. 4. Good, take your time with this one. Pushing the ground away. 3. Keeping the glutes nice and tight. Cracking a wall up between your bum cheeks. 2. Good, moving over. Reach overhead. 1. And down. I think my counting was correct. I did try and stay on target. Sometimes I forget the numbers, you see. Right, quick drink, and we're going to have another round of that. So notice how on that one, so with this round, everything increased in difficulty very slightly. And we also started incorporating that activation work. So not just moving in and out of a position, but what we were doing is generating strength, sending a very strong message to the central nervous system to generate force in these positions as well. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed that. So we did that initial prep work, standing pancake, shoulder rolls, and then squat to stand, holding our ankles. We're now in this patterning. So first exercise, we're going to do the downward dog again. Then we're going to do the bridge, and then we're going to do that trap through raise. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. So again, any questions, please feel free to bang them in comments, and I'll try to answer them. Right, so from here, what we're going to do is do that downward dog again. So downward dog, so pushing the ground, feet nice and high. Okay, so from here, I'm going to add a pike push. Okay, so feel free to do what we did before in that downward dog where we brought the feet to the hands and then we just paddled. Those of you who want more of a challenge, we're going to push overhead now, generate force. Elbows nice and tight, coming down nice and controlled. If you want a depth gauge, use something like a yoga block if you're not able to go all the way down. Okay, but we're going to go for 10 of these. You guys ready? So let's go. Bum nice and high. Squeezing those elbows, pointing them back, shoulders on. I'm going to come slowly down, pushing back, finish ears between biceps. That's 10. Slowly down, touch the floor, pushing back. 9. Again, keep that tension. 8. I'll show you from the front. Slowly down, push back. 7. Slowly down, push back. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. Good. One more. And 1. Nice. Great work, guys. Did anyone attempt those pike push-ups? Lovely exercise, that. One of my favorites. So that was the down dog or pike push-up, depending on the sort of difficulty that you guys want to go for. Now we're going to go into the bridge. So remember, start on your bum, feet facing one way, hands facing the other. So for those of you who want to make it a little bit more difficult, what we're going to do is squeeze the bum, and we're going to put a reach in as well. Okay? So last time, remember, we had both hands on the floor, glutes switched on, moving left to right. But now, if you guys want to challenge, we're trying to connect the hip and the lower body to the upper body. Okay? So glutes on, move over to the left, big reach overhead. Good. And then we're going to move over to the other side, big reach, come back down. Okay? Those of you who've seen the post today, it's like a tabletop position. This will lead you into if you want to do a back bridge, which is an awesome move. So 10 reps. If you want to just do the glute squeeze, that's a wicked exercise as well. Okay, so either way, 10 reps. So keeping the shoulders pushing down, glutes on, big stretch overhead. Good. 10. Pushing the ground. Move over to the other side. 9. Good. Again, take time with this one. Push the ground. Move over. 8. Pushing the ground. Move over. 7. Good, guys. 6. Again, you can almost open that shoulder. Lots of different shapes in there, creating multi-joint stability. 5. Good. Keeping those glutes nice and tight. 4. Opening that chest to the sky. 3. Feel those lats open up. 2. Good. Final rep, guys. 1. Excellent. Excellent work. Again, we're just building on that unilateral theme, so building strength across the body, left to right, and that, as I said, multi-joint stability. So the hips have to work with the shoulders, have to work with the wrists. A really nice sort of compound exercise. Right, so we're going to go back into that trap 3 raise. But obviously, remember, you need to do it on the floor, overhead. I'm trying to make a nice straight line here. Squeezing, pulling that scapula back, drawing it down, trying to pop it in my back pocket, pulling it, boom, like this, straight line. Or remember, we can do it in a full plank, okay? So 10 reps, whichever one, on your knees or full plank, or if you want to start in full plank, go onto your knees, either or, okay? So pushing into the ground, let's go now. So a bit more stability, split the feet, so I can squeeze arm overhead, 10. Move over to the left. Keep those glutes switched on. 9. Belly button drawn in. 8. 7. Good. Keep pushing the ground away. 6. Good. 5. Don't compromise form. 4. Good. Squeeze. 3. Moving over. 2. Last one. And 1. Good, really good, guys. Excellent work. Excellent, excellent work. Whew. Just grab a little water. Oh. Give us a boom. Yes, JD. That was so hard. Pipe push-ups. Improved the last time. Yes. So Zahida there, just stating how she can definitely see that she's making progress throughout this time. So that's what we're aiming for. We have to be honest about where we are and not compare ourselves to other people and their journey, because we don't know their journey. So this is all about us and what we can achieve. Okay. So now we've gone through that patterning and activation phase. We're now going to start moving into the dynamic strength. Okay. So a question here coming from Bernard. Should the face touch the floor on pike push-ups? So this is a very good question. So I'm thinking about coming forwards. So notice how I'm not trying to put my head between my hands. I'm trying to come forwards like this, and I try and touch either with my nose or my forehead. Okay, hopefully that answers your question, because that keeps me honest each time. So hence, if you need to scale back using something like a yoga block, you know, you've got different heights. So say, for example, I lay it longitudinally. So I can be here, boom, in the sky. And then that keeps me consistent each time. Okay, so that's something to work on. Again, that was more like a patterning and activation. So that was more for, I know there's some people in here who want to push themselves, but I'm quite happy for you to sort of scale back and just continue building that overhead strength. So pike push-ups are a really good way to do that, especially if you want to go into like frog to handstand work. Okay, pike push-ups improving. Yes, Kelly Bean, you absolute legend. Right, so dynamic strength time. We will go into this now. So a Pluto sniff. Okay, so this is bringing in the factors that we've already sort of covered. So good integration between the shoulder, the hip, and the posterior chain. So I'm going to show you what we're after now. So those of you who are wanting to get better at pike push-ups, this is another exercise for building that shoulder flexion or overhead strength. So this is why we did those downward dogs to start with. So one's going to be nice and high. I'm going to keep the elbows tucked together, pointing backwards, so shoulder width apart. So bum nice and high. I'm going to come forwards. Oh, I'm going to come forwards. Imagine I'm pushing a P along the ground, and then I'm going to push up. Okay, and then to reset, take my bum into the air. So I'll show you that again. I'm going to basically dive forwards, elbows tucked by my sides, pointing backwards, coming forwards, heavy on the triceps, come down to here and push up. Now, I know some of you are working on tricep strength, so a modification to that is we're going to drop the knees at the very bottom just to take some of that load away, because we're stronger in the eccentric, so you'll find that you'll be able to dive down, you'll be here, you'll dive down fine, and you get to the bottom and have to put the knees down and then push up with the knees on the ground to reset. Hopefully that makes sense. So we're going to go for 5 of these, okay? We're going to do a Pluto sniff, followed by an explosive ab tuck. So Graham, I know you're going to be on this. So we're going to do Pluto sniff, ab tuck. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, okay? Boom, if you're ready, let's go. So if you want to practice this now, feel free to do so, but I'm going to aim for 5. So start in that pike push-up position. I'm going to come forwards, drop my nose to the ground into a push-up position, deep push-up, pushing up from there. Notice how I'm not resting, I'm not putting my chest on the ground. I'm holding in an isometric hold, keeping my chest just off the ground, okay? But see where you're at, okay? Let's go, shall we? So we're going to do Pluto sniff, and then I'm going to show you the next exercise, and we're going to do 3 rounds. Right, so 5 reps of this, bum nice and high, elbows tucked in, slowly down, heavy on the triceps, into that push-up position, drive it up. 5, good. To reset, pushing my bum back, good. That's 1 rep. Coming forwards, nose to the ground, staying tight, push. 4, back to the front, back to the top. Slowly down, push-up position, drive up, good. Reset, bum into that pike position, again, nose down to the ground, push it up, 2, last 1. So reset to the top, bum nice and high, nose coming down, rolling that P along the floor, and push. Woo! I think some people call those Hindu push-ups as well. So whatever name you use, you can tell, really heavy on the pecs, also that front delt. Really great exercise. Right, so that was a Pluto sniff. Ab tuck, but I want this explosive. So I know Big Graham will be enjoying these. So we're going to be in this position. So we're going to be making a long shape, and I'm going to think about driving my heels to my bum, boom, like this, okay, as fast as I can. 5 of these, okay? So I'll show you again. We're going to reset, arms overhead. I'm going to think about contracting as fast as possible. So here's the ball. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Okay. Right. Do 5 of these. I want you to move as fast as you can. Yep. Is everybody ready? So find some space. Nice and flat to the ground. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Good. 5. Reset. 3, 2, 1. Boom. 4. Good, guys. 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Boom. That's it. Good. 2 more. 3, 2, 1. Boom. 2. Good. I'm trying to contract as hard as I can. Abs like Jacko. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah. Cool. So that gives you an idea of the exercises. We're going to do 2 more rounds of those, okay? And we're going to keep rest minimal. But I don't want you to compromise your technique. If you want to make those abs harder, I'll remind you, but what you can do is not rest in between. So you're holding a hollow body position and then contract, okay? But I'll remind you on the next one. Serious ground going on with you. Yes, Venice. So remember, We're going to go into that Pluto sniff or Hindu push-up now. So 5 reps. Remember, scale back as much as you need. If you can control down, okay, get to here, drop the knees, pushing up off the knees, that's fine. Okay, 5 reps. Boom if you're ready. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Bum nice and high. Folding forwards, nose to the ground, into that push-up, drive up. 5. Reset. Bum to the back. Slowly down. Elbows pointing backwards. Rolling forwards, push up. That's 2. We've got 3 more. Bum nice and high. Feel the stretch of the hamstring. Elbows tucked, nice and tight to the body. Forwards, push. Weight in the triceps, push. 2. Last one, guys. Let's go. Open up, full shoulder flexion. Elbows tight. Slowly forwards. Woo. Oh, that is tough. Right. Remember, going into the abs now. So, in this position, if you want to make it harder, don't rest between reps. Hollow body position, tucking that pelvis underneath. But I want that maximal contraction. Okay, does that make sense? Slight shoulder wide, hip flexibility. No, that's fine. If you're struggling to get the full pike or hip flexion, again, what you can do, as Zahid is saying there, go legs slightly wider apart so you can still get full range as you're going down into that push-up. It also makes you more stable. So just work out where you are. Right, so I'm going to try G-man. Let's go. So hollow body, and I'm going to try and contract as much as possible without resting in between. So 5 reps. Let's go. Hollow body. 3, 2, 1. Pull. Reset. 3, 2, 1. Pull. Good. Excellent work, guys. 3, 2, 1. Pull. Notice how I'm protecting my lower back at all times. 3, 2, 1. Pull. Good. Last one. Keeping that pelvis tucked underneath. Squeezing those glutes. Abs on. 3, 2, 1. Pull. Yes. Excellent. So those are so much harder, right? Keeping that hollow body position. What I'm trying to do is tuck my pelvis underneath. I'm not trying to banana back, because we're trying to avoid the banana back as much as possible, especially when we go into handstands. Okay, so final round for these guys. Again, Hindu push-up or Pluto sniff. Those of you who are familiar with the bodyweight basics, this is one of the great exercises in there, which is completely free at the minute. Okay, so Pluto sniff, abs, and then we are done. So let's go, shall we, guys? Final round. I want you working real nice and hard on these. So if you, in fact, want to make those Pluto sniffs more difficult, you could use a couple of yoga blocks to increase the amount of range. Okay, I'm going to have a little go at these. I've never done these before, so we shall see. So, but the main things, so screwing those elbows in, wind up the stabilizing fascia through the back of the shoulder, up nice and high, rolling forwards. Okay, let's go, shall we? So, up in the air, elbows pointing back, pike position, so ears between elbows. I'm going to roll down, come forwards, push, reset. Good. 5. Coming forwards, heavy on the triceps. Coming forwards, push, up. Good. 3 more. Coming forwards, nose to the ground, driving up. Good. 2. Last one, elbows tight, rolling forwards, push. Let's have one more. Elbow tight, coming forwards. Ah. Woo. Oh, that was hard. That was hard. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring yoga block into this next one as well. Okay, so remember, explosive abs now. I'm going to be in this hollow body. I'm going to try and bring this yoga block from overhead, boom, like this. Whip it over the top, okay? 5 reps, then we are done. So, let's go, shall we? Final round, final exercises, 5 reps, then you can start your weekend, okay? So, I'm going to start in this hollow body position, arms overhead, 3, 2, 1, boom, exploding up. Trying not to rest. Good. Boom, 4. Boom, 3. Go on, 2 more. Let's go. 2. Good. Last one. Try and balance. Overhead, hollow body, glutes on. Boom. Woo. Yes. Excellent, excellent work, guys. Oh, I'm warm now. My abs are toasty. Hashtag abs like Jacko. So, just go over a few things there, guys. Remember, anyone can get you tired, but what we're always trying to do, we're trying to build in these prerequisites, mainly creating a strong, stable base of which we can then display strength. So hence, we got ourselves nice and warm, you know, proprietary exercises, movement preparation, getting the shoulders nice and warm, moving through. And then from there, we went into movement patterning, activation. So getting the posterior chain warm, backs of the shoulders, scapula, and then also working on the bridge. So shoulder extension, working really hard. And then from there, went into more like dynamic stuff, a little bit of fun at the end, but things that are fundamental to a lot of the positions that we want to get good at in calisthenics. Okay, so sometimes you're just not strong enough. So it really helps to just lay some of these foundations, a little bit of capacity, but having fun with it as well. Okay, so I really, really appreciate you guys coming on board. Any questions, please feel free to put them down below. What are the requirements for muscle up? What you should do is sign yourself up. There's a free 7-day trial for School of Calisthenics, so you can go on there and also get access to all of the programs, which are absolutely awesome. So a free 7-day trial, schoolofcalisthenics.com in the virtual classroom. If you haven't got a link, have a look in the School of Calisthenics profile. If not, send me a message, Owen B. Jackson. Again, for those of you who want to do more, feel free to just remember that or rewatch this. This will be going on IGTV later, and it will also be on YouTube. So School of Calisthenics YouTube channel. And then from there, oh, awesome. This weekend, keep your eye out because there is a chance to win a Bulldog calisthenics rig. Flipping out. It looks awesome. Like, I've seen them. I've had a go with one. They're so good. So keep an eye out this weekend to win one of those. And I'll be chuffed to bits if one of you wins those. Like, I'll be honestly so stoked. So thank you so much for joining in. Another variation for the Hindu push-up is to reverse back to pike. Yes, yes, that's an awesome variation. Really good, Bernard. Yes, that's a great point you made. Anyway, thank you all so much. YouTube, just hang on 2 seconds. I'll answer your questions shortly. So, sorry, Instagram. YouTube, thank you so much. I wish you an awesome weekend. Bushproof, thank you. Louis Romero, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys coming on board. Remember, every day, every work day, Monday to Friday, there will be some sort of workout for you guys to enjoy. So I will hopefully see you next week from me, Coach Owen, and the rest of the staff. So YouTube, you are dismissed. Right, Instagram, you lovely lot.